On my, none of you niggas ain't trying to go there with me at all. On my, stop capping. I see a lot of niggas been jumping out there saying if they gonna take their chances with Savage. On my, I'm just giving y'all the truth. On bruh, that ain't the right route to take. My, it ain't.
A lot of people hate me. A lot of people love me, man. And I feel like I'm the top of the ops.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that to say, I don't give a who hate me, I don't give a who love me. Everybody gonna respect me, you know me?
Yeah.
So I'm the top op.
Funeral hugging your mom, yeah. I'm in that free car with clickers and cutters. He got hit in his head and he still ain't do nothing.
That you said, and I quote, "You can't trust no one." In the head, nigga, I really took one in the head. Did that really happen?
Real life shit.
Real life shit.
I really know mad shit. Caught him in traffic, I fought with this Glock and he crashed. Hit in his head, you ain't slide, how you slide?
How did you feel? What was going through your mind when you heard that swipey pass?
That was really my man. Like, that was really like my bro. I can't lie. That shit me up. Cause on my grave, I will really do something to your you hear me? For playing with me. I'm not the one.
We're learning more tonight about the suspect in Saturday's shooting at Tyson's Corner Center. Fairfax County police say Noah Settles is a DC-based rapper who uses the stage name No Savage.
But for now, we know that he could face up to 33 years in prison. A sentencing date has been scheduled in June.
Ayo squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. Well, it looks like DC has entered the chat for rappers seemingly crashing out and sinking their career. Rapper No Savage was the hope of the city, arguably hailed as one of the best putting on for the city. He even signed a major label deal and was on his way to taking over. But he fell for the trap and allegedly allowed himself to get tricked out of position. The good old bust shots behind the op in public, but this time he did it in a high-end mall with tons of families around allegedly. The cops vowed to put him under the jail to make a statement. This is the story of No Savage's downfall. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Noah Settles, aka No Savage, the DMV rapper carrying the city on his back, came up on 37th Street southeast of Washington, D.C.
What goes down on a day-to-day in Southeast?
Man, you know, it's the hood, you know. Ain't shit different from like just being in the projects. Ain't shit different from no other projects in the hood, you know.
No Savage was in the trenches, surrounded by regular hood activities and the wolves trying to make a come up by any means necessary. Unlike many trench babies in the rap game, No Savage had the blessing of having two parents who loved him. But still, that didn't come with a mansion and protection from the vices surrounding him. No Savage had to endure the struggle of trying to make it out of the streets that claimed so many lives. Knowing this, even as a kid, he had to be a man and pay attention so he wouldn't become a statistic of the trenches. No Savage didn't let that stop his drive to become somebody. Music became his outlet, and once he found he had the skill to make songs that people could relate and listen to, he started putting in time in the stew. Finally, it seemed like he was embracing his childhood passion he had in the days rapping in the hood with the homies just kicking it. Still, No Savage was 1 foot in the industry and 1 foot in the streets. Eventually, his lifestyle resulted in him not graduating. But ironically, later with his fame, he was the reason the school wouldn't close down.
Did you graduate school?
Actually, no, I didn't graduate.
Okay.
But I did go back to my school, my old high school, right? It was getting shut down. And because I was putting the music together and shit, and that I was becoming who I was becoming, they called me back up there. And the government didn't close the school down, because I spoke on it, you know what I'm saying? That shit was like in the newspaper and shit.
The older No Savage grew, seemed the more the streets had him in a chokehold. With that came beefs, and there were many times where he nearly got hit up. In a live IG post, No Savage came clean about some things he endured in his life and dropped the bars, "You can't trust no one. Effed up in the head, I really took one in the head." Meaning the ops caught him lacking and he got a headshot but survived. In an interview, he was asked about the bars that confirmed it was real life facts, no cap.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, I peeped the Instagram live clip that you said, and I quote, "You can't trust no one. Up in the head, nigga, I really took one in the head." Did that really happen?
Real life shit.
Real life shit.
As if that wasn't traumatizing enough, No Savage had to stomach the pain of losing his close homie and fellow DC rapper Swipey, who met his untimely demise in August 2016. Long live Swipey. They came up on the same block.
So Swipey, where you from? Let the people know where you from.
From Southeast, 37th Street, Washington, D.C. Southeast.
Swipey was like his brother for real, and that loss sent No Savage down a dark path. Shelters and juvenile detention, the whole nine. Savage was going through it.
How did you feel? What was going through your mind when you heard that Swipey pass?
That was really my man. That was really like my bro. I can't lie. That me up.
Him and Swipey used to just be freestyling and kicking it. And it's messed up that he was on his way up in the rap game and now his partner wasn't there to even do a track together. Bro seen some things and been through some things, but he kept it pushing. Little did he know his struggle was about to be flipped on his head top and turned into fame. No Savage was making his music carelessly, sending it through email, and somewhere along the line, hackers caught him lacking, and an early unfinished song was leaked. The song was passed around like a rap chain on a greasy neck tour in school, and turned out that was the best thing that happened to bro, cause it caught traction and his name started buzzing. I got a hold of the unreleased song he was referring to, named Why Is You Broke, and the joint cranked for real. From there, No Savage just built on the momentum. It was bro time to shine. He continued stacking up his catalog, dropping bangers like No Look, Slime for Fun, and the viral track Reaper. It seemed like No Savage had the juice and the sauce and was spilling all over the industry, pause. But the streets don't like success. So when you achieving your dreams, the ops start coming out the woodworks. Now 37th Street was allegedly into it with another DC crew known as Simple City, aka Simp, out Benning Heights, and No Savage was supposedly at the heart of the beef. Diss tracks were flying every which way. Online lives were going back and forth, but one op would allegedly play a pivotal role in getting No Savage tricked out his position. Active Baller. Active Baller ain't no regular op. In fact, he goes by his second alias that got the streets in a bind, the Top Op. I don't know about you, but to be dubbed the Top Op, you gotta be on a different type of time. Active Baller don't really care, he demand his respect.
Top of the ops.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that to say, I don't give a hate me on who love me. Everybody gonna respect me, love me.
He been in the streets and behind bars on more than one occasion. One time even serving 6 years before coming home and going right back in a few months later.
Gone, Union.
Yeah.
Doing 6 years doing jump.
6 years though?
Yeah.
Damn. So what was your experience like?
Man, that shit made jail. I mean, you know, that shit made me, man, you know, it showed how solid I was. I ain't had no gun.
Yeah.
Feel me? I had to just like stand 10.
Like many of these cities, the ops be around the corner, but according to Baller, that ain't nothing to a gangster, and the ops like No Savage gotta be the ones on the lookout for him.
They were talking about like how this other side is like 5 minutes away from here and shit, bro. Like that shit real close. When you be moving around DC, bro, you be kinda, you know what I'm saying, watching your whereabouts and shit like that, watching like on IG Live, you gotta watch your location.
Man, stop playing so much. They gotta watch me. I don't gotta watch them. I'm alert.
Active Baller will come for No Savage neck on the diss track Flush 'Em, featuring Cruddy. Multiple times through the song, Active Baller references No Savage being hit in the head, confirming what No Savage said earlier in the interview when he was asked about it. But Active Baller didn't stop there. Bro tossed respect out the window and also mentioned Savage's fallen homie, Swipey.
Time fishing, got hit with the rod on the ass. I ain't swiping, but I swipe it like out the can.
Active Baller wanted all the smoke and used social media to his advantage. June 3rd, 2021, he would post a couple pics to his IG posted up in No Savage block with the caption posted on the op block, I'm really the top op. No Savage wasn't going to just sit back and accept the foolery and shot back with a couple shots of his own online. No Savage wasn't pulling no punches and was going off on bro for real and called him a rat. He would drop the scorching banger Angels and Gangsters where he again dissed calling Baller a rat. The beef kept beefing, but it seemed like No Savage was ahead of it and blowing up music-wise. He went on to sign a deal with 300 and his name was stamped as the next to take over. He was repping the DMV with everything he was on.
To be putting on for my city, like, it ain't, like, I don't know the word, like, it's like,
I do everything for my city, like everything, hands down. Like
The pieces was coming together and bro was maturing and moving on to a bigger and better situation. No Savage was cutting off the weight and just keeping real people who shared his dream around, like his uncle who was his manager.
my man is just like uncle. This is my uncle right here, Wardy. Handle the business, you know, keep everything going, keep me up.
It seemed like No Savage found his wave and was about to ride to the top, but the ops wasn't going for it and created a situation that ultimately got No Savage facing football numbers behind bars. Saturday, June 18th, 2022. It was Father's Day weekend and the Tyson's Corner Center Mall was packed with families enjoying their day. That's why what was about to happen would ruin No Savage's career for the foreseeable future. The ops caught Savage lacking in the mall and whipped out the video camera while trying to press bro. No Savage, though, wasn't gone and could be seen clutching his waist trying to get the men from bugging him allegedly. Another camera angle captured showed the faces behind the camera, and many believe it was the top op active baller and his homies that was on bro case. The next thing we know, news is hitting the airwaves about a shooting at the mall, and they had No Savage as a prime suspect responsible for upping the pole and trying to knock Baller head off right there while everybody around. Footage shows the moment he allegedly came through the cut with the pole and let the hammer fly, sending people running. Bro was caught in 4K, had every angle of the scuffle, including new footage. In this time where mass shootings is becoming the norm, this was the worst place to do this. People were in fear and scattering for their lives, some being injured due to the rampage to escape. It was straight pandemonium.
The good news here, no one was hit by the gunfire, but 3 people were wounded trying to get out of that mall.
Officers were ready to get bruh.
But know this, we will find, we will capture, and we will hold accountable the persons involved for this melee, this reckless discharging of a firearm on the 2nd floor of Tyson's Corner Center in the middle of a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
They gave the vehicle number and everything and was out for his arrest.
Police say Settles fired multiple rounds inside the mall before fleeing in a black Cadillac with DC tags GK0174.
If caught, Savage was facing charges for attempted malicious wounding, discharging a weapon into an occupied building, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony.
Settles faces charges for attempted malicious wounding, discharging a weapon into an occupied building, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony.
They had bro plastered on every channel, and what's worse is bro was already fighting a strap case from 2019 and 2020. No Savage made the smart move to turn himself into law enforcement instead of having them hunt him down. A press conference was held and things weren't looking good for bro.
We're very pleased to announce that Noah Settles turned himself in last night at the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center. I believe he was represented by his attorney. He's now in custody. Noah Settles, at the age of 22, very sadly, is no stranger to law enforcement in Washington, D.C. He's no stranger to law enforcement in Prince George's County, Maryland, and now he's no stranger to the Fairfax County Police Department.
They had him tied to the 37th Street gang and had documented info on the deadly feud with Simple City and connected the mall shooting to their beef.
At Tyson's last weekend of the 37th Street crew and the Simple City crew, both geographically close to each other in Southeast Washington, D.C. Many of you who have been covering the news in this area have heard of both for many, many years. They were engaged in a beef. It started with words. It ended up with a pushing and a shoving match, and then the display of a firearm, and then just minutes later, 3 shots ring out. 3 shots.
The fact that this was such a family-oriented and reputable mall made it even worse because now law officials are trying to make an example. This ain't the streets, bruh. This is a place packed with people, and people coming to relax and enjoy themselves. New reports soon reported the conference info about the 2 gangs publicly, adding even more pressure on law enforcement to get justice against No Savage. Many argue he could beat the case claiming self-defense, but according to Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis, there's one piece of damning footage that would make that extremely difficult. No Savage is believed to have left after the scuffle and then returned to bust a cap in the ops. No Savage was denied bail and was in for the fight of his life. Things went from bad to worse. In September 2020, a Fairfax County grand jury approved 7 charges against No Savage, including 2 new ones, brandishing a firearm and possession of a concealed firearm. Facing hella years in the pen, No Savage made the best decision he could to get a lesser sentence and plead guilty to 3 counts of malicious discharge of a firearm in an occupied dwelling and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. The other charges were misdemeanors and dropped as a part of the deal. No Savage is guaranteed a minimum 3-year sentence, but prosecutors want the judge to give him way more for the seriousness of the crime. June is his sentencing date, and he's facing up to 33 years behind bars.
But for now, we know that he could face up to 33 years in prison. A sentencing date has been scheduled in June.
The fingers are now starting to point at Baller, and people are labeling him a snitch for bringing the camera that recorded evidence of the altercation and that he didn't even stand his ground, but instead got to skedaddling. But the top op had something to say about that.
Baller never recorded anything. Never in my life. You ain't see Baller with nothing in his hand. Never recorded. Never had no video. Ever in my life. You hear me?
Before he turned himself in, No Savage posted a last day out video apologizing to the fans and everybody at the mall that was scared. Is it a little too late? Or would the judge go easy on him? We have to wait and find out. Until then, stay smart, stay alert, and stay real. I'm out, y'all.